This is Top Accolade African News Update. I am Soibifa Jagarich. Ghana's Supreme Court has begun hearing a challenge to the Anti-Lgbtq bill passed by Parliament in February. The court granted a request by lawyers and journalist Richard Dela Sky to challenge the controversial bill. The bill prescribes a 3-year jail term for people who identify as gay and 5 to 10 years for LGBT advocates. The lawsuit, which was filed in March, asks the court to prevent the Speaker and Clerk from Parliament from sending the bill to the President and to stop President Nana Akufo Addo from signing the bill into law. A second case brought by academic researcher Dr. Amanda Odoi challenging the constitutionality of the bill was also heard by the court. The first day of hearings took place in a tense atmosphere with heated arguments during oral submissions between legal representatives of the various parties and the Chief Justice. Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono expressed concern about the strong language used in some of the sworn statements. The tense event on day one of the hearing did not come as a surprise to many given the controversial nature of the bill, which has been condemned by Western donors and human rights groups. The hearing was presided over the Chief Justice along with 4 other Supreme Court judges and broadcast live on television because of the keen interest in the case among Ghanaians. President Akufo Addo had said he would await the verdict of the Supreme Court before deciding whether or not to sign the bill into law. The case has been adjourned to 17th May. A criminal investigation has been launched by authorities in Egypt following the fatal shooting of an Israeli-Canadian businessman. The incident happened in the north coastal city of Alexandria on Tuesday. The victim has been named by Israeli and Arabic media as Zkipa, the head of an Egyptian food exporter. A previously unknown group has said it was behind the shooting. It has called itself the Vanguard of Liberation, the Mataya Mohammed Salah group, as an apparent reference to an Egyptian police officer who was killed after shooting dead 3 Israeli soldiers last year. In a statement, the group described Mr. Kipa as an Israeli agent and said his killing was in retaliation for what it called massacres in Gaza and Israeli seizure of the Palestinian side of the Rafah border crossing with Egypt, which also happened on Tuesday. A security source said they had no information about the existence of such a group and whether it had been involved in Tuesday's attack. Neither Israel nor Egypt have yet officially named the man who was killed. However, the Israeli Foreign Ministry confirmed that the victim was a businessman with dual Canadian-Israeli citizenship. It added that the Israeli ambassador in Cairo was in contact with the Egyptian authorities. Egypt's Interior Ministry, meanwhile, said in a statement that the man had been residing permanently in the country. Legal action has been taken, it said, without providing further details. James Emmanuel Wanki, a spokesperson for Global Affairs Canada, the government's diplomatic department, said they were aware of the death of a Canadian citizen in Egypt and expressed our deepest condolences to the family. Consular officials are in contact with local authorities and available to provide consular assistance to the family, he said. Due to privacy regulations, no additional information can be disclosed. Mr. Kipa is listed online as CEO of KO Group, which was founded in 2008 and exports frozen fruits and vegetables. Its headquarters is in Alexandria. Journalists in Burkina Faso are the new targets of forced conscription to the army. The West African director of Reporters Without Borders, RSF, Sadibou Marong, said they dare to criticize the government and they now have been summoned to join the army. Mr. Marong told the Africa Daily Post the military-led government has admitted to enrolling critics in the army in the past. Mr. Marong added that the Transitional Assembly passed a law that gives authorities the ability to identify and force young people and fight in the army. Mr. Marong says 2 journalists he has been in touch with has received official summons to join the army. One of the journalists joined the army for a month but then escaped near the border of Ivory Coast. It comes after a recent crackdown on foreign media outlets. Burkina Faso has dismissed these reports. Kenyan doctors have ended their strike, which had crippled the country's public health care system for 56 days after reaching an agreement with the government. The Kenya Media Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union (KMPDU), which represents about 7,000 members, went on strike on March 15th. Despite the deal to end the strike, the government and the doctors' union failed to reach an agreement on the deployment and payment of intern doctors, who form the backbone of the public healthcare system. The union demanded the intern doctors be paid about $1,500, that is €1,200 a month, but the government says it can only afford to pay them $500. The matter will now be determined by a court, which means the intern doctors will remain out of work for the next 60 days. That is the size of top accolade African news updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy Thursday.